and before James Stewart, last year's champ, had decided for sure he wasn't going to race this series. That's confidence for Chad Reed to bet on himself.
That's pretty confidence. I didn't know all the facts there. I mean, that's laying it out there, being confident. But you can never bet against this guy. That was always so tough about racing him. I mean, you knew he was going to be there. You know, he might not always be the fastest, but his bad days are a second or a third place.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to beat this guy in a title, you have to be flawless.
Yeah.
And that, you know, you had perfect seasons, and that's what enabled you to beat him. But yeah, he forces you to ride your best, and man, that really says a lot about his character and what he thinks of himself. You know, to go in there and make that big of a gamble, and you know, even though he's got a pretty good lead in this moto, and it might seem a little bit boring to him out front, he's got to be having that in the back of his mind, going, man, this has really turned out to be a nice payday as it stands. Jason, you were just doing the math. 101 ahead of Andrew
Short's dropping quickly. He's all the way back to 9th now. That would be enough.
Short needs 100 points.
Yes, right? And it was 101, but Short's lost a few more positions. Short has always admitted he struggles with the mud. He's out of Colorado. Mud and ruts are not his specialty. As Short loses positions, it looks more and more likely that Chad Reed is going to get it done today.
Chad's mechanic, Mike Gossler, needed to put on the pit board to slow it down so he gets he crossed that finish line with less than 2 minutes and shorten the race up another lap so he can collect that paycheck and that championship he's been wanting so bad. So pretty cool to see him hopefully get this title today. Like he said earlier with his interview with Tiffany, that he really wants us. It'd be neat to have that in his trophy case.
There's been, you know, also, I mean, people say, well, you know, you're retired and James Stewart's not here and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, as he pointed out, you have to be there.
Absolutely. Hey, it doesn't matter whether I'm retired or James ain't racing. The difference is we ain't out there, and it's our job to be out there. We're not, so he's going to win, and he deserves it. If we wanted to do anything about it, we should have stepped up and been out there.
Plus, he's suffering through the mud, so he's had it pretty tough. You're enjoying it where we are right now. Folks, it's been great racing. We're going to be back with the conclusion after this. Stay with us live on NBC's Chad Reed tries to lock up the most prestigious title in the world of motocross. Community, NBC's new college comedy, is joining Thursday's comedy lineup. Joe McHale leads a great cast in Community, premiering Thursday, September 17th, only on NBC. Chad Reed trying to put the finishing touches on an overall win and a championship run here at Budds Creek, Maryland. The weather has made it difficult on him. The competition has made it difficult on him. He had to deal with Davey Millsaps in our first race today. Ivan Tedesco here in our second. But Reed just overwhelming him. The guy has so much confidence. We've seen it time and time again this year. The first couple laps, he's willing to let guys lead him. Just follows the lines, but he knows when it really counts late in these 30-minute plus 2-lap races, only the strong survive. And Reed has been the strongest one this year. A lot of this competition is on the wayside, probably watching this today on NBC. Reed always says you got to be in it to win it. He is in it. He's taking the goggles off here. That's how muddy it's become. So even with the roll-offs, they're all gone, Ricky. And that pretty much sums it up.
I think it's the rain, you know, like it's just raining so bad, and his roll-offs probably locked up, and he just had to get rid of them.
Wow, okay, so Reed's got to hope he doesn't take on too much roost. You can see he's actually got a clear goggle lens put over the visor on his helmet. And the idea is that it can absorb a little bit more roost. So without the goggles, Reed can duck his head down. Won't be able to see so well, but at least he'll prevent the mud from hitting him in the eyes. Now earlier when it was nice and sunny out, we saw a familiar face in a very unfamiliar setting. Tiffany caught up with Corbin Bleu.
Well, guys, we have a very special guest with us today. Corbin Bleu, all of you ladies out there might recognize him from High School Musical, but you're here because you actually have a movie coming out in motocross, freestyle. Tell us about it.
I do. I actually did this film and started reading the script and became obsessed with the sport, just became obsessed with the riders, and I actually started training with Cole Seeley, who's going to be racing here today, and he started teaching me, and I became obsessed. I got a Cowie 250 myself and just started riding, and now I come to all the races have just become obsessed with the sport. It's incredible, and just to see what we saw here just now, you know, there's nothing better than seeing a race that you already know, you think you know what the outcome is going to be, and then all of a sudden they surprise you, and then build you to this huge climax, and it was still good to see Millsaps take it in the end anyway.
Now, you weren't a writer before the movie. Now that you have trained to become one, how much respect do you have for what these guys do?
You know what? It's incredible. Every film that I've done so far, I've always had to learn something new. But motocross is one of the physical, you know, aspects of a role that I've had to learn that I really found the most challenging. And I mean, you work every single part of your body. And I mean, these guys are in tip-top shape, and it's, you know, it's just amazing. It's a great family sport too. You know, it's not just the hard work that the riders do, but the hard work that everybody else behind these riders. You know, it's a whole team, and that's one, you know, thing about the film that we wanted to show. We wanted to, you know, make an authentic film that really showed not you know, obviously there's some really cool aspects of the sport, but also it's really rugged, it's really dirty, and we wanted to show that side of it too, the grit, and just, you know, the heart behind it.
All right, well, we are glad that you're out here today. What's the day that the film comes out?
October 9th.
Go and watch it. Thank you very much, Corbin. Have a good time. Back to you guys.
Corbin talks about the grit, the heart, how dirty it is out here. Jason Wygant, Ricky Carmichael, and David Bailey up here. You guys got, what, about 14, 15 championships between the two of you? Actually, between the three of us. We've combined for 14 championships. Ricky, what is it like? It's muddy. It's not fun conditions to ride in, but he's got to be feeling pretty good.
It is fun right now. These are my favorite conditions. Is really like this. Yeah, it's challenging, and when you're good at it, it's fun. Look at right there. He's the only guy tripling that out of turn. Has no reason to do it, but he's just on a high right now. There's RD, his team manager, Roger DeCoster, so he's wanting to get that championship as well.
Yeah, he's happy. He doesn't, you know, there's probably people over there wanting to take pictures of him, and he's like, no, get away, get away. This is too early to start celebrating, but you can see that smile coming out. He's a 5-time world champion from Belgium. He's been the team manager for so many different champions, and now with Chad Reed, I know he was sorry to see you go, Ricky, but he's got a nice replacement for you in Chad Reed.
Absolutely, he's got a great guy in replacement of me, and Roger was a great team manager, still is today. Obviously, he's working on another championship here, which he's probably going to get here, another half a lap, and he deserves it, man. The guy works hard and puts together a great program.
There you see the graphic. That explains Reed would have a 3-point edge in the championship. He has a 103-point lead with only 100 points available in the next 2 rounds. So Reed's going to win this title. I'm impressed, by the way. Ricky's track has held up pretty well. They're jumping all the jumps. It's been raining for a half hour.
One good thing about this track, it being kind of in a valley, is all the rain kind of runs downhill, so it doesn't collect so much on the track. It goes kind of to the bottom, you know, where the track actually doesn't go, so it makes it not as bad as it could be.
It drains really well, and you know, when you do get to those off-camber corners at the bottom where they're slick, you've got a rut to slide into, like right there, to keep your traction.
Absolutely.
He's going to get ready to go up this hill and then back down past the mechanics area where we'll see your old mechanic.
Yeah, guaranteed to have 2009 outdoor champ, something like that.
That's cool. They probably got some T-shirts ready and all that stuff.
Oh, that's your old mechanic. 09 champ. Didn't have room for the 2-0, but you've run past that pit board from that mechanic many times, Ricky. That was your old mechanic with both Honda and Suzuki.
I'm pumped for him, man. Really, you always, you know, when you leave, when you retire, you always want to see the mechanic that worked for you go on and be successful with somebody else. So neat to see. Look how happy Chad is.
Chad Reed is going to do it all today. He is going to win the race at Budds Creek, win the Monster Energy Triple Crown, and the 2009 Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship. And Mike Gosler's mechanic is pumped. Everybody in that team has contributed to this. Chad Reed putting his name in the history books as your 2009 champion. Tommy Hine and Ivan Tedesco, great runs to take 2nd and 3rd. We'll be back to talk to them when we return on NBC. It's all over here from Budds Creek. A new champion, the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship Tour, has been crowned. He comes from Australia, and his name is Chad Reed. It was a rough and tumble ride on this muddy racetrack, but it was not enough to deter one determined new champion. We'll show you the Lucas Oil race recap as Reed gets a hug from his wife, Ellie. Here's how it all broke down today. First, the rain came down. Then Ivan Tedesco got the whole shot, but Reed kept bearing down on him. They're going to go side by side over this finish line jump, take a look at each other in midair, and Reed's going to close the door from the outside and seal off a Moto win. Eventually, Tommy Hahn would put pressure on Tedesco and put his CanadaMotorsport.com Kawasaki into the number 2 position, with Tedesco holding on for 3rd. But the real story, Chad Reed wins the race and the championship. And you know he's happy. He's got a couple of million extra dollars now in the bank. Show you the results from this second race today.